Hi, I'm Ollie, and I travel the world in search of great food. For this series, I've come here to Italy to be inspired by some of Rome's most talented home cooks. I'm going to find out their secrets, and then head to the studio kitchen to cook an easy-to-follow recipe that even I can do. Today, I attempt an Eton mess with an Italian meringue. There's no shortage of options in Italy to satisfy a sweet tooth. From panna cotta, gelato, and those little packets of sugar you get free when you order an espresso. In order to find out more about Italian sweets, I've come to meet Fortuna, who lives near a castle. A castle. Because I've heard she is the official macaroon supplier of the French embassy in Rome. What are we cooking?
We are making macarons.
They're French, are they not?
Oh, they're not French.
They are. It's a French word.
No.
Macaron.
It comes from ammaccare, which means crush the almonds. And Caterina de' Medici from Venice, when she got married to the Duke d'Orléans, she went to France and she brought her pastry chef with her. Because she wanted this cookie to be served at her wedding.
I'm persuaded. Macaroons are Italian.
And the first step, we have to make a syrup, like water and sugar. We wait until it reaches like 160 degrees Celsius. Okay, in the meantime, we have the TPT, which is almond flour and confectionery sugar together. Okay. We know when it's done when it becomes warm because now it's very hot. In this case, egg whites are pasteurized.
Like clouds.
And that's what we want.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
We have 2 parts of egg whites, one in here and another one in here.
So how many egg whites is this?
There's 2 egg whites.
What's the technique for mixing?
It is important to do this by hand because the machine overheats the almonds and we spoil everything. We don't want that. The first part of a meringue inside and then the second part.
Okay.
We mix it properly because there are 2 different textures. But the second part you have to stir it gently because we don't want to overmix. Next we're going to use the food coloring.
And this is just for colour, not for flavour?
That's right. Okay, now we have to macaronage, which means we have to do this job until we have a ribbon, continuous ribbon. Now we're going to take a sac à poche, a piping bag.
You're using a lot of French for an Italian dish, aren't you? Macaronage.
Yeah, that's it. Now we have to pipe. You need to stay perpendicular to your body. With these hands, give the direction, and this is to press. Press, press, and go away. Yeah.
Hand perpendicular to the body.
Okay, yeah, and just press. When you arrive to the edge, just stop pressing. Go away.
These are not as good, are they? It's absolutely shockingly bad. Look at that.
Yeah, you did better. Ollie, please. Thanks.
So is this a special oven?
Not really. Actually, it has the fun. The temperature is the same everywhere. You're raising a little bit, you see? It's called collarino.
These smell amazing.
Yeah, it smells like the sugar and the almonds as well.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Are there any of my ones in here? I can't see any bad ones.
Yours are here.
Oh, okay.
We have to let them cool on their tray before to prepare the ganache, the filling inside.
What exactly is a ganache?
Ganache is hot cream, whipping cream, up on chocolate.
Okay.
Okay, and it is a French invention.
Oh, that's
because,
interesting. A French invention for an Italian dish. It makes no sense at all.
This pastry chef, by mistake, he filled some whipping cream, hot whipping cream up on chocolate. They wanted to do something, and he started stirring, and it became this creamy ganache.
Amazing.
And this master chef called him stupid. In ancient French, means ganache.
I think this was one of mine. Look kind of looks like an egg.
Yeah. You have to take them gently, not the same size.
Oh, it has to be the same size. Oh, I see what you mean.
More or less. I mean, not the same exactly. These two?
Yeah. So it's like a matching game.
Yeah, matching game.
Maybe I'll match an ugly one with an ugly one. That's how the real world works, isn't
yes.
it? But how do you know it's my one?
Because it has a nose. Okay, you put the chicken. Let's see.
Amazing, look at that. That looks like a real macaroon. Remind me of the flavors.
Mango and passion fruit, salted caramel, vanilla and pistachio. You see, it has to be crunchy on the outside and a little chewy inside.
That's exactly what this is, right? It's like, you know when you kind of crack the creme brulee with your spoon. It's that same feeling, isn't it? An absolute wealth of knowledge here by the castle. There's no way I'm going to be able to make macaroons to this standard, but I've got a few ideas, a couple of techniques. I think I'm going to give my own dessert a go. I find desserts really difficult to make, but they are delicious. And my trip to Fortuna reminded me that it really is worth putting the effort in. So, inspired by my trip, I've decided to make an Italian-inspired Eton mess. To do so, I'm going to start by making the Italian meringue that Fortuna taught me. First things first, I'm going to get my eggs. Now, you can use regular chicken eggs, but I decided to make things difficult for myself, so I'm going to use duck eggs. So duck eggs are a bit harder to crack than chicken eggs. Stronger bird. I'll just crack them open in here. Then I'm going to separate the white from the yolk. And now I'm going to start on the syrup. So I'm going to add 300 grams of sugar into this pan. And to that, I'm going to add 80 grams of water. I'm now going to put this on a low heat to make my syrup. Now this is the part I need to be really precise with. So I've got a thermometer so I know when this syrup has reached exactly 120 degrees. While I'm waiting for the syrup to come up to 121 degrees, I'm going to measure out 110 grams of these egg whites and whisk them. Making sure that this bowl is as dry as it can be. So I'm taking this up to the highest speed and whisking it for about 7 to 10 minutes. It's very noisy, so I'm not sure if you can hear what I'm saying right now. $119, 120, okay, good, 121 degrees. Now I'm going to slowly pour this into this mixture, as slowly as I can. So now I've incorporated all of the syrup, I'm going to push this up to full whack and wait until it's ready. So this is going to need another few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to preheat my oven to 100 degrees Celsius or 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I think I'm a very clever boy, because in those 10 minutes, I've just about made a meringue batter. Look at that, it looks absolutely incredible, silky smooth, and tastes really good. So, all that's left to do is to spoon this into little shapes, ready for baking. One of the advantages of making an Eton mess is I don't need to be quite as precise and artistic as Fortuna was. So all that's left to do is leave those in the oven for about an hour and a half until they become golden on the outside. So I left the macaroons in the oven overnight to cool, and they're looking absolutely incredible. Now it's time to make the strawberry sauce. So to do so, I'm going to take 500 grams of these strawberries, which I got fresh at the market. So beautiful, just in season. So modified recipe, about 475 grams now of strawberries. And I'm going to add 50 grams of sugar in this pan on a low heat for 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the strawberries done. I'm now going to cover them with about 50 grams of caster sugar. Then I'm going to turn the heat to low and let these simmer. Just to get them started, I'll add a little tablespoon of water, And finally, I'll just squeeze the juice of half a lemon straight into the pan. And just mash them to get all those amazing juices out. So the strawberries have been on the hob for about 8 minutes now, and they smell absolutely incredible. Next, we're just going to strain all of those lumps out. I think it's this last part where all the flavour is, so I'm really trying hard to push all of the moisture straight through the sieve. So I've taken the strained mixture, put it back in this pan, and I'm going to let it simmer for another 1 or 2 minutes. I'm now going to put this in the fridge to cool. Now time to make the whipped cream. To do so, I'm going to take 300 millilitres of fresh cream. And to that, I'm going to add about 50 grams of icing sugar. Fantastic, this looks amazing. Really, really rich whipped cream. I'm going to start by putting a little bit of fresh cream just on the bottom of the plate. Then I'm going to take 2 of my beautiful meringues. Add a generous amount of this whipped cream to the side. Then for a little Italian touch, I'm going to get some biscotti. These are beautiful cantaccini biscuits. So we'll just break these up, put them on the cream. Then some fresh fruit. And not forgetting this amazing strawberry sauce. And that is my Italian-inspired Eton mess.